Cool check-in.
Together, we're Jalen Jacoby. What is it that we do?
Give the people what they want.
So much for us to get to today. We've got college football. We've got the full week of NFL football. We've got Coco Gauff and Simone Biles and much, much more. MLB playoffs. But we start with the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen, do you remember when the Dallas Cowboys were 3-0 and Dak Prescott was looking like he was earning himself millions of dollars every single Sunday? Then they lost to the Saints. Then they lost to the Packers. But yesterday they lost to the New York Jets on Jerry Jones's birthday. This was the most shocking result for me from the weekend in sports. Jalen, what did you think of Prescott and the Cowboys going down to Darnold and the Jets?
So I'm not going to overreact to this game like many people in the media or fans are going to do, and here's why. They have some injuries on the offensive line. Amari Cooper went out of the game early. They're still really trying to establish their number two. Is it Gallup? Is it Austin?
Cobb was out too.
I feel like their defense has been letting them down. The quarterback is going to always get the headline or the blame. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 100 yards. But I anticipated their defense to be a lot better than it's performed these last few weeks. And I want to give the Jets a lot of credit. While they were 0-4, remember, a quarterback means so very much, almost everything to your squad. Ask Robbie Anderson, who basically caught for as many yards yesterday as he had the entire season. Okay, Bell got a touchdown. You get Darnold back in the lineup. So I'm not going to overreact to the Cowboys losing to the Jets just because they were 0-4 going into the game.
Oh, I'm definitely going to overreact. And it also sounds like my guy, the birthday boy, Jerry Jones, he's trying to temper his emotions a little bit after the game. Let's listen to Jerry.
I am surprised tonight that our defense didn't play better, but I'm real surprised equally that our offense didn't have a better night, even though we're playing with some guys that were getting some of the earlier snaps. Ultimately, if you're one of the really top teams, which we're not, we are not. I hope that someday this season we could be one of the top teams. We're certainly not tonight, but I hope that we can do better than just win our division, although I'll take that right now in this circumstance. But I would hope we could get up there and get a little special positioning in the playoffs.
Interesting from the birthday boy right there. He also pointed the finger at the defense, but he also brought up winning the division. It is a particularly weak division this year. The Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Washington team are all in that NFC East. And if you take a look at the Cowboys' upcoming schedule, it's not great considering they just lost 3 games in a row. They've got the Eagles division rivalry. It's a big game to sort of get pole position there. A bye. Giants beatable, then Vikings, Lions, Patriots, Bills, Bears, Rams, Eagles again, and Washington again. Looks tough. Do you think this is going to be the NFC East champion?
I think the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys are both going to jockey for who wins the division. And injuries are going to have a lot to do with it. Can Carson Wentz stay healthy? When is Deshaun Jackson going to return? But Jerry echoed exactly what I said. The first word that came out of his mouth was about the defense. And when Amari Cooper went out of the game, again, I want to stress this. There's a reason why Dez Bryant and Terrell Owens are tweeting at the team. They see that the team really is lacking at the receiver position. And so when you don't have your number one guy out there, it's not going to give you the best optimum opportunity to win. We saw how Dak played before Amari arrived versus when he did arrive. So they have a great chance to still win their division.
Well, the most anticipated matchup of the weekend did not disappoint. It was the Texans and the Chiefs and 2 exciting quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, still a little dinged up. You know, he was obviously favoring one leg over the other after the Texans got to him a little bit, as you see on this play right here. But it was Deshaun Watson and the Texans who would come away with the win. Watson with a great performance. What did you see from the Texans and the Chiefs on Sunday?
Time of possession. And I told you this after they played the Lions. Okay, remember I said this. They have Patrick Mahomes, who's a dynamic reigning MVP. You get back Tariq Hill, catches 2 touchdowns. You still have Travis Kelce. They don't have a run game that anyone fears. Williams and McCoy, they don't put fear in the defense. So therefore, KC doesn't have the level of balance that we're used to them having. Remember when Kareem Hunt was back there before he had all of his issues? Now all of a sudden they done locked their attack. And so now you can press up on the receivers. You can force Mahomes to kind of be accurate consistently because they don't have balance. I want to give the Texans and Deshaun a lot of credit. By the way, he overcame drops from Fuller, overcame drops from Hopkins, and yet still found a way to lead his football team to victory.
I do agree with you. The time possession was just so important in this game. You know, if you keep Mahomes and that Chiefs offense on the sideline, you can limit their productivity. And after giving up 17 points in the first quarter, that Texans defense gave up only 1 touchdown in the second, the third, and the fourth quarter combined. It was a really good game plan by this Texans team and a head coach who isn't exactly celebrated as a mastermind in the media. And it was a good job by the Texans and Bill O'Brien. Moving on. You had the 49ers win over the Rams as the best win of the weekend. Why was that, Mr. Rose?
Because they are a football team that doesn't give you smoke and mirrors. And here's what I mean by that. They're going to play zone defensively. Guys are going to stay into areas. They're going to pick the football off when you throw it to the wrong color jersey. They're going to make tackles. And they don't allow the 10-yard play to become a 50-yard score. They're really efficient at that. So therefore, you create a level of balance to where Garoppolo doesn't have to drop back and sling the football all over the field 40 times. They can hand the ball off. They can get it to Kittle. And so they have a level of balance. On the other side, the Rams, Todd Gurley, him not playing last year in the Super Bowl and now progressing with injuries this year has taken away that team's balance. And so Goff is dropping back, throwing the ball every time, and people see it coming. You got to give the 49ers a lot of credit.
And Goff had 78 yards. Again, 78 yards. The San Francisco front seven is so good, and their running game is so good. It's old school football, and it's working. It's like, you know what? We're going to limit you on offense, and we're going to hand the ball off a bunch on defense. And, when we're on offense, we'll see what you can do with that. I really like what the 49ers have put together. And, again, I have to say they've wildly exceeded the expectations that I had for them, and I really know that they're happy about that in the Bay. Because this is ESPN, because we are national media, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have become like the story of the season. They played a very good Seahawks team, and they did not win. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Baker Mayfield didn't look confident, didn't look comfortable, threw some really bad picks, made some bad decisions, and the Seahawks did what they do. Russell Wilson hasn't thrown a single pick all year long. Was this more about celebrating the Seahawks or criticizing the Browns after this one?
Well, I'm going to always celebrate Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. They're lock in step. You turn around and hand the football off to Carson 24 times. He gets you over 100 yards. It creates a level of balance that protects Russell, who obviously is one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the game. And he is what I consider dynamic. On the other side, I was watching the game and I thought about something. I saw all of the weapons that the Browns have. And I thought about who should be their next coach, because I believe Freddie Kitchens, if he does survive this season, this will be the only time he coaches this football team. Mike McCarthy, formerly of the Green Bay Packers. I saw him do it with offense. I saw him do it with defense. And I know his message got stale in Green Bay, but he helped usher Aaron Rodgers into being one of the greatest quarterbacks that we have seen. I just think they need somebody else on the sideline. Not to take anything away from the players, by the way, because Baker Mayfield throws so many interceptions, in particular in the red zone. Still can't get Odell involved, still can't get Landry involved. They should feed Chubb. They had the lead. Why are you not feeding Nick Chubb? So I just believe that this will be his only season if he makes it through the year. Freddie Kitchens coaching this team.
And I like Baker Mayfield because I like his personality and he gives us in the media something to talk about, but I'm not giving up on him. I understand the interceptions are bad. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. He threw some really bad interceptions, especially in the red zone, but you have to remember, this is his first full year as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Not every young quarterback is going to be Patrick Mahomes. It takes some time to learn how to read the defenses, to see how teams are scheming against you, and hopefully over time, he'll become the quarterback that we all sort of expected him to be after he won the Heisman. Jalen, there was one moment from this game that we really have to celebrate. I know that we're old and we're washed up, but we're not too old for NSYNC. And apparently, neither are the Seahawks receiving core. There's a beautiful touchdown catch, but this, the bye dancing celebration. Jalen, did you know what this was in reference to when you saw it happen for the first time?
Well, actually, I did. I thought it was really clever. I liked that it was in unison, and it was choreographed to the point where everybody's lock and step and in rhythm. I thought it was fly.
I did too, and also like the bye. You could, it's a big touchdown. You're kind of like waving goodbye to the home team. I enjoyed that as well. Shout out to the Seahawks for putting that together. Jalen, I have 3 little children. I like to go to bed early. But last night's ALCS game in Houston between the Astros and the Yankees was too good to leave. This play in particular, Correa coming over from shortstop after the ball bounces off of Altuve to throw out LeMahieu at home was a huge play, but not as huge as this. In the 11th inning, the very first pitch of the bottom of the 11th, Correa goes yard to even the series at 1-1. Could that one swing have saved the Astros' entire season?
Of course. If the Yankees go on the road and take both games, and then they come back to the Bronx up 2-0, it's curtains for the Astros. No doubt about it. The Yankees got what they were looking for, a split. So this is the long series that I anticipated it being.
I know. I'm so excited for this one to go back to the Bronx at 1-1. I was really disappointed. I saw it start to go the Yankees' way, sort of in the late innings. They started getting after the relievers a little bit, and I got concerned. But I'm really glad this is 1-1. I want a 7-game series. I love these two teams, and I want to see it. But I just want them to end like an hour earlier, man. I'm tired this morning. When we come back, we will be joined by none other than Sway Lee on Jalen and Jacoby right after this.
Got to give the